The next thing we want to do is to start with a front leg stretch. There are two of them. The first one is to stretch these muscles here, right the way down and into the hoof. So if you have a horse with contracted tendons, you're going to stretch the hoof this way. The second stretch is bringing the front leg back, and you're going to then be stretching all of these muscles down the front of the leg. So they work both ways. Now, like I said, he hasn't been ridden, so he's not warmed up. So I'm going to hold the muscle for 15 seconds and let the blood pool and oxygenate before I start the stretch. So we do it this way. Pick up the foot like you're going to pick out his feet. And I'm going to compress the joint. Now you can see that he's quite supple because his elbow and his foot can touch. Some horses can only get to there. Some horses, the leg is almost open. There's no way they can put their joint. You can see how much of a flexion we have going on through there, through the joints. This joint, this one. Okay, so now I'm just holding and letting it stretch a bit. And when I start to relax, you start first of all, this is the bent leg stretch. If you have a horse that's really stiff and you don't want to go on to stage 2, which is this. Now I'm not doing anything. You can see him pushing and leaning and doing stuff. That's him. I'm not pulling. I'm not doing anything. He's stretching. All I'm doing is supporting the leg. So the next one from here is you can go out to the side a bit and back across to the horse's midline. Okay? And I'm going to let him rest because he is 30. Now, what I'm doing, if you were standing behind me, is you would see the front leg across and back out. You only need to move it maybe 6 inches. What you're doing is you're loosening up the muscle in between the shoulder blade and the horse's chest cavity. A lot of horses, especially that jump, get shoulders like this because the landing sends a shock wave up the front feet, the front legs, and it ends up in here. So those muscles work very hard, boom, to take the concussion of when the horse hits the ground. Okay, so landing after jumps, as we said, puts a lot of stress on the horse's 2 front feet. So you can understand why they stiffen their muscles. And also in through here. So over a period of time, what happens is the horse, instead of having a nice relaxed shoulder, begins to get like this. And it's harder and harder to get a good stride out of them. So these stretches that we're doing with the front legs are really to combat that.